Hi. Do you really trust your instincts? If you get a gut feeling about something, do you trust it? Or do you brush it aside? Do you just tell yourself, no, I'm sure everything's okay, whatever it might be? And I guess right now I'm talking about gut feelings when you get a sense that things aren't quite right in your relationship. It could be that you just get a sense of that maybe he's not paying you any attention anymore, or less attention than you had before. Maybe you get a sense of that things aren't quite right. Maybe he's not telling you that he loves you as much. Or maybe he's working late and it's not his usual pattern. We can all justify ourselves and say, well, yeah, and brush it aside and hope that it'll all go away. And it could be there is nothing wrong. But the problem is, if you ignore it and tell yourself there isn't anything wrong, then you might be missing a trick. You might actually be missing something, and if you keep missing it, you could keep justifying yourself and your partner and making excuses, and there might be something wrong. 42% of all marriages end in divorce every year in the UK, which is really a very high number when you think about it. That's not including all those couples that are separating, or all the couples that aren't married but are in long-term relationships. So when you think about that, that's a high number. So if you carry on ignoring it, if you just put it aside and just pretend it's not happening, you may be finding yourself in a situation where things are really going downhill. And that would be really sad if you really love each other, because if you address it early on, you're more likely to be able to resolve the problem. Tackle it early on. But don't tackle it when you're in a row. Don't have it. That's, I find so often, is people have a row and then they throw all that rubbish out to each other, and it doesn't help, does it? You throw out words that cannot be taken back, and they're not accepted in the right way. So much better to talk about it when you're both calm. And I get couples telling me, oh, well, I didn't want to say anything because everything was going fine. I didn't want to rock the boat. But if that boat is already a bit rocky, isn't it better to talk about it? Because then you're in a much better place to be able to sort things out. And you're calmer. When things are going well, you can sit down and say, hey, do you know what? I really love you. I really care about our relationship. But I've just got this sense that there's something not quite right. How do you feel? You're going to get a much better response. Whereas if you do it in a kind of a snidey comment on the way, what's up with you? Or trying to have a conversation when the family's all around, or you're busy or something like that, you're not going to get a good response. So it's much better to talk about it. And when you trust your gut, trust your instinct, get that sense of there's something not quite right, but not pushing it out to the other person. So it's always useful to trust your gut, trust your instincts, and check it out. I don't mean constantly keeping on at somebody, but you know when there's something not quite right. You get that sense when there's something a little bit awry, but we can so easily push it aside, and then it's too late. You're on that rocky road, and down to that, you could be one of that statistics, that 42%, which is so sad. Hope that's helped and you found it interesting, and I'll speak to you again. Bye.